last day of chopping for 2022. I've got good cell coverage here, or internet connection, or what have you, so I figured I would go ahead and fire up a live stream, figuring this was the last day that we'd be able to get one from the chopper here. So we're chopping fourth cutting. We did do a majority of the fourth cutting earlier on, and then it got to the point where we needed to get on the corn, and we more or less pulled the plug on doing any more hay, but we just had this weather given to us here, so we figured we would go ahead and finish the rest of it. Last year and the year before, we didn't do any fourth cutting. This is actually going in a bunk down at my uncle's farm. So all of our bunks are full. We even filled the high moisture corn bunk with corn silage. I haven't exactly added up all of the corn acres yet that we have left to do, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 or 900 acres. So this particular farm that we're on, we're renting the land. The corn that you see on these strips on this farm is not our corn. So we are over in Elbridge on the Hill farm, and we have done work with these guys for a long time, and we seeded this. We were buying standing hay from them, but we actually seeded this ourselves last year after they took weed off. So the last live stream I did from the chopper there last week, Tuesday or Wednesday night, I was getting ready to end the live stream, and the live stream just abruptly ended on its own, and then I couldn't turn it off at all, and it showed on YouTube then that I was doing a live stream for like 7 or 8 hours, so something screwed up there, and I don't know if this is even live here. So traveling from one strip to the other. Well, I got a notification on my phone that we're live. Imagine that. So I'll turn that volume down. I can read comments on this app that I'm using, but it doesn't tell me how many people are in here. And that's kind of an important number to know, because you don't want to be talking to nobody and just talking along here. So we'll go ahead and change the field here. We need to jump over into the next strip, which, where are we here? Well, I'll leave that at that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'll just leave it there like that. So we've got 5 strips left here, and I got a little chunk of hay here that I missed, or it could just be that the guys merging didn't put it into a windrow. So we might as well pick up these chunks here on our way by. There we go. So we've only got 5 straight trucks hauling. Tim and Jared are spread manure. They've been able to get a ton of manure out here this fall, with it being as dry as it is. Now, we don't plan on doing or shelling any corn here till the end of the week. Now this is going to be rebroadcasted, if you will, so we're going to talk about a few things that you guys aren't really going to, well, we're live right now, but it is Monday. We know you guys know this. It is Monday, October 24th right now. So anybody watching this after the fact here will kind of understand what we're talking about here. So, what was I getting at? Yes, it's been a real dry fall, and usually it's not dry like this. We get into a couple of wet spells, and I've lost my train of thought there for a hot minute. Mike wants something here, so he's going to call. Well, he sees a hot air balloon, I think. Either that or he's got to... hello? Yeah. It'll probably land in the field. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mike wanted to know if we seen the hot air balloon. But you guys will see it when we come back the other way here. So I kind of lost my train of thought on that last little topic there. But at any rate, yeah, so we don't plan on showing any corn till about the end of the week. We don't want to pull the silo loader until the open silo is empty. That'll hold about 1,000 ton, and I'm not so sure I've even got 1,000 ton of high moisture corn anyway. What we'll do with the majority of the corn is take it right to, commodities, and they will grind it and bring it back to us in the form of cornmeal. So we've got some time to kill here anyways before we actually do any high moisture. And to be honest with you, I have not changed the combine over yet to do corn. It's been kind of sitting in one spot ever since we got done with wheat. Usually I have a brief moment to screw around with it and get it ready for corn before we're actually ready to do corn. So if we didn't have the high moisture corn bunk full of corn, we'd be able to start high moisture tomorrow, but that is just not the case. We figured it was better to have an oversupply of corn silage than it was to try to just cut it under the wire this year. So we chopped a little bit more corn than we normally chop. Plus it was going so easy. And we had a fair amount of green corn that was still out there. It would have made high moisture corn, but we felt that we might as well just keep chopping. So we've got Mike that we're felling now. I don't know where the next truck is. I think Sarah's the next one, but we probably should have a couple of more trucks on staff here with it as far as we are away from home. But I thought it was just as important to have the guys hauling manure to use tarps on the trucks. We don't use them all the time. We should use them more than we should do, but they cause more of a problem than what we gain from using them. The guys get screwed up. They forget that the tarp is rolled out on the truck. They'll raise the tailgate. They'll say, "Oh, geez, I gotta put the tarp up." They'll put the tailgate down. That's what usually screws the tarp up. And then they go to roll the tarp in, and it's either broken already, or if the tarp is working, they don't roll the tarp in enough. They get going down the road. They hit tree branches. They break it. comes back to the field. You got one arm dragging on the road, the other arm is who knows where, and it just causes more trouble than they are worth. We do have to get a majority of them fixed, and I think what would fix the problem is to take the electric motors off and put a hand crank on there, make the drivers get out every time and crank the tarp up and wind it back in by hand. They can't handle using the automated system, so they might better use a manual one. They get goofed up when it's real windy. They don't understand that the tarp is not going to retract in the wind. They get all goofed up, then they give up on it, and then the tarp is usually double winding itself, and then when they go down the road, it's starting to unwind, and they don't look in their mirrors to see that the tarp is starting to come out some, and they don't realize they have a problem until they're dragging the tarp arms behind themselves. So that's usually what we see with problems with them. So we've got Mike just about loaded here, and we don't have another truck here. So I guess we get to sit and watch comments. So loaded. Gotta get the, yeah. Yeah, there you go. If you were that smart, you wouldn't be driving truck. You know what they say? There's only one thing dumber than I shouldn't say this. There's only one thing dumber than a truck driver, and that's the woman that is with them. Oh, I shouldn't say that because I'm a truck driver myself. Sometimes, anyways. I pretend to be one, anyhow. Oh, so let's see here. We've got one windrow in this field, and it looks like Mike is backing up. He must be letting a truck in. We only have one windrow left in this field, so rather than chop all the way down through the field and then come back not chopping anything, we might as well take the empty truck to the other end. Now that another truck is here and he sees me driving to the other end, he knows where I am. If I was to drive to the other end, he'd drive all over Timbuktu looking for the chopper. We'd be able to figure out that part of the windrows are already chopped in this field. How is the milk price in the U.S.? The price of milk has started to drop a little bit. So that was kind of a short-lived thing to see milk up priced where it was here back in, say, July. But that's how things go. So, yeah. When was the last time you were in a truck? The last time I was in a truck, well, I used to haul a fair amount of manure. Tim kind of took that job from me. And I might be back in a truck before long. We did, spoiler alert, buy another road tractor, and I've got to get a manure tanker sorted here. So you'll just have to stay tuned to see what we've got going on there. So we've got this, yeah. We've got a little short windrow here. It looks like the mergers went a little wide and they skipped a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and pick that up. Would I ever get a tractor with tracks? Probably not. We have a fair amount of side hills, and I just don't think that a tractor would fare too well on a side hill. Now, a friend of mine had a chopper with tracks on it, and I think he fared pretty well with it. but they did have trouble with one of the hydraulic drive motors, and being that they had not made enough of them choppers, he had a motor that failed, and they were quite a while getting one, and he has since replaced that chopper, and they've got a wheeled chopper now, but I don't exactly know comparison-wise if the track chopper was better than the wheeled chopper or not, but I'm almost leaning towards duals on the next chopper I buy in 10 years. I think it's going to have duals on it. I think it would ride a lot better. Any closer to getting dad, brother, wife on a video? They're close, but they're like probably 5 years out there, Ed. I've been doing good there, country boy logging. Yeah, Big Bird ain't gonna make an appearance from California. So Farmer of God, how is Andrew doing? Andrew has been sick. He's been sick for going on 4 or 5 days now. He helped us cover bump Friday night, and he didn't feel good getting that job done. And he didn't work all weekend, didn't go to school today, and I don't know what he's got going on here. So he has been under the weather. New combine will have tracks. No, they haven't built it yet, so I don't know if they're going to put tracks on that or not, David. It's going to be decades before I buy a new combine. So, how many cows do you milk? I don't milk any cows. I haven't milked a cow in a long time, so I know I get that question all the time. How many cows do you milk? I don't milk any. But on a lighter note here, we're over 1,700 currently, just to put it at that. So, yeah, we got over 1,700 cows going into the tank. The next question is going to be, how many acres do you run? Well, we farm all the acres. We haven't not farmed any acres in quite a while. Why is the last live stream? Why is this the last live stream? Well, it's the last day of chopping for 2022. So, we're chopping 4th cutting. Maybe you didn't tune in to the beginning of the live stream. So, anybody watching this video after the fact, during a live stream, there is a chat session that goes on, and people put comments into the chat feed, and you can look at those, the chat stream, if you will, as the video's going on. So when you hear chatter about stuff getting talked about, it's kind of hard to go along with what's going on, because you have to know that there is a chat thing going on, so you can't participate in on that after the fact, but you can watch it after the live stream is over with. What's your favorite tractor you own and why? Well, probably the 8320R, and that's because outside of mix and feed, that's the only tractor I drive. The plant tractor is the only thing that I use as far as a tractor goes for field work. Now, once in a while, I'll do a little bit of tillage with either the 9560 or the I haven't really done much with the 8360. The 8360 is an animal, but that's got an IVT transmission. What kind of parlor do we milk in? We have a a Bullmatic parallel parlor. We did have a good season. Yes, we did. Okay, we've got Eddie Rickels, an auto shop owner. It's fun to see how other industries, if you will, how they do things. So I understand where you're coming from. Are we going to upgrade anything? That's a good question. Oh, what do we got here? We've got metal. So, sometimes, believe it or not, a stone, if it's got any iron in it, which, it's in the chopper. It's in on the feed rolls. Sometimes a stone, believe it or not, just a little tiny one, if it's got any metal material in it, it will trigger the magnet. So I'm going to jump out now. Metal. So I'm going to jump out. We're going to dig through and I'll be back. Okay, so we did not find anything. We'll fire up. It went in. It's telling me it is left of center. We'll back that up a little ways. Gotta reverse it far enough so it turns it off. There. Give me a second here. Okay, so that's the second time out of the chopper. We did not find anything. This is what's nice about chopping corn. If you get metal alert when chopping corn, you have problems. However, doing hay, like I said, a small stone can trigger the magnet. Sometimes it is a small piece of wire, and when you reverse the rolls, it'll tell you there's 4 identification points on the bottom feed roll that has the magnet in it. It'll tell you a general location where that piece of metal or where the metal triggered the magnet. But the problem is you can't just stop it and reverse it a little bit because there's such a mat of hay in there that you have to back everything out. Sometimes it's easier to take the hay in very slowly and minimize the pile that you have to look through. And then the other problem I get is the truckers will get in there and they'll just start digging through it and they mix everything up. If they would very carefully just go slow at what they're digging at, it would be easier to find it because it's going to be closer to the feed roll than outside of the pile. So it gets frustrating looking for metal, and sometimes it'll spit a small piece of wire out between the head and the feed rolls. And then if you kind of note where your spots are in the field where you found wire, next cutting you'll find it in the same damn spot again. So that is one thing I did not miss from going from hay to corn. But the mergers, they did a good job on this last partial run here of fourth cut, and I didn't have any issues with those. Do all of your cows have magnets? No. No, we don't put magnets in any of the cows. I know some guys have done it in the past. You know, they've run into iron issues with maybe a silo loader starting to come apart or something like that. And for the most part, we don't have to put magnets in any of the cows. For those of you that don't know about that, they're about 3 inches long, and they're either rectangular in shape or just a round, looks like a big pill. It's a magnet that you can put into a cow, and if they consume a nail or a screw or what have you, the piece of metal will stick to that magnet, and it'll keep it from, well, it'll actually work its way to the cow's heart after a while, and it will kill them. Will you go to Florida in the winter? I'm not sure if we're going to go to Florida this winter or not. We might do something like that. Time will tell, that's for sure. I could turn the camera the other way. We might get a little glare from the sun here in a hot minute, but I haven't decided if we're going to go anywhere this winter or not. So I'd like to do some equipment hunting, but that's all going to depend on if we got any money. We might be fresh out of that. So we've got a couple of silage boxes that we want to build this winter, and that might keep us busy for getting out on the road and doing any kind of a trip. So, but like I said, time will tell. We've got Sarge about full here, and then this damn field had 3 windrows in it as well. So we're going to let him run along here in a hot minute, and then we're going to travel the whole length of the field, not doing anything. And then we'll chop back through on one of the trucks that is here. We've got Sarah and Alex, both of them are here. And Sarge ain't going to like this. He's got a little bit of a side hill. Alright, so he's loaded. He's got a side hill to go out with. To leave if he goes out forward, or going out in the direction he's going in. But there is a driveway back there. So, do all my children work on the farm? Well, my youngest daughter is involved in school, but she does, when she has time, work. When she has time, it's only on. There's metal again. She only works, this time of year, just a few hours a month is all. But my other 4 kids, they do work full time on the farm. So, well, Andrew's limited too because of school, obviously. But the 3 oldest kids work full time on the farm. That'd be Jared, Alex, and Sarah. 9700. Somebody's asking about 9700 with an 18 liter. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Adam. Sometimes that's what I like doing more than anything else. It's not really, you know, it's, I figure out where I'm going to go and, you know, what kind of a trip I'm going to go on. Or, you know, when we take family trips, I don't really care where we go. I have the most fun just driving to wherever I'm going. And then once I get there, it's like, I can care less to be here, but it is what it is. So yeah, usually the trip in the truck is the most fun. So we're just traveling the whole length of this field here, and we're going to chop this windrow going back through. Let's see, we got James Ertz from Minnesota. When are you gonna combine? We're going to combine towards the end of the week. We might actually not do anything until next week. If we do anything, it's going to be dry corn first. If we have any dry corn that's ready right now, we're going to wait till the silo is empty before we do any high moisture, since we filled the bulk with conventional, or we filled the bulk with silage. Now, this corn that's over here is not our corn. So we're going to wait for this truck to get into place. Cows are milking good. We get one of the 2020 8Rs. I don't know what you mean by the 2020. Will we cut hay today? We're all done with hay. My brother and my friend, no, it's just my brother, cut hay this morning. And this hay was frosted, what was it, last week, or was it the week before? I think it was last week we got a frost. And it has quit growing. So this hay was cut this morning. They merged it about 2 hours after it was cut. And now we're chopping it, and the moisture is just shy of 60%. It's running right around 58% moisture. The stuff we chopped yesterday was down for a day longer, and that stuff was around 45%. With this weather that we're having right now, I'm almost wondering if a guy could maybe bale some hay, but it takes a lot to get it down around 15%. I might have to get my glasses out here so I can sneak over to the comments here. What happened to the 8120? Oh, we should have filmed that. You know, I was working on the chopper the other day, and Mike called me. I was pulling the KP out. Mike called, and I didn't answer the phone, so he called Jared, and we should have videoed that, but I didn't take the camera with me. So, he said he was on the road. He wasn't on the road. He was in a small field, but right next to the road. So, Jared called my nephew that was merging with him and says, hey, what are the symptoms? Oil's coming out of the SCV. So, Jared knew what it was because he's been down that road before, and it was it was actually a hydraulic coupler in the SCV. The merger uses 2 remotes. The tractor had 3 on it, so he was using remotes 1 and 2, and it was pouring out of 3. So we had determined that it was coming out of remote number 2. So we had just picked one at random. We were going to go ahead and just change both couplers out on the SCV, but we did the one on the right side, tried it, and it quit leaking, so we went with it and filled him up with oil, and he was able to finish merging. But I should have videoed that because there's a lot of guys that just don't know the problems associated with an SCV like that. There's hay down right on the other side of the road. I don't know whose that is. So, planting any cover crops this fall. We have planted wheat. We plant wheat as a cover crop, and we've got a little bit more left to do. We don't put anything on ground that we combine on, but we usually put some wheat down on all of the ground that we got stones wrangling through there, which I don't like. It's common with this ground over here. We got to get the roller over here this spring and pound these little softball-sized stones in. How's the new farm coming along? Well, they put rubber in last week, and the guy's working on getting stalls installed into it now. Stalls, headlocks, gates, all that stuff. So, yeah, we got Oliver 880 with a $10 super chat. Beef jerky and an Arnold Palmer for the way home. That doesn't sound too bad. We wouldn't want to put much more on Alex, being that we're on a side hill. But we're going to take her up through this field here, up through and back through, and on some better ground, and she'll be loaded, and then we can use the empty truck for the other windrow that we have left in this field. So, how many acres do you guys chop a BMR? We did like 1,200, I think it was. So we're hovering right around, right near, well, we're actually over 10,000 acres of, we're over 10,000 acres on what this chopper is harvesting. So we'll give you that much. That was this year. So how will the bin run do? How will the bin run wheat do for growing? It'll do good. It always does. Yeah, I hear you there, Adam. What kind of road tractor am I looking for? One that's geared low, one that's got high horsepower, and double frame. So the one I bought, I should be getting this week. So I bought it back in, it was August. It come out of Canada, and it had to sit in customs for 30 days. So that 30 days was up around the 1st of October, and they're taking forever to get it delivered here. The reason why I bought one because I didn't think the W9 was going to be participating in this year's silage harvest with the engine getting done on it. And Jared was having trouble with his Mack, and I figured we need another road tractor. And at the time, the Peterbilt was having trouble with the transmission. I didn't think that was going to be with us, and we were basically down to one road tractor and 3 Moss trailers to keep going. So it was a little scary there for a little bit. See, we got John from California. There was a John in California that had a truck for sale that I called on. So we're gonna have to let her cut right there. We're gonna motion to her. I'm gonna text her. Let's see. So we use group text when we're chopping like this because these gosh darn things right here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yes, you can. These things right here suck. They are horrible. CB radios. So we've talked about for a while now getting something like a Motorola two-way or them Midland radios or Midlands or Mindlands or the mindless radios, but we have not done that yet. And I think it would be just a mess anyways. I would have to have a switchboard in the chopper that had every radio identified, and I would have to limit who could talk and just listen because I'm sure I'd have some clowns that all they would be doing is just having a conversation amongst themselves. So I think I would have to every once in a while get on the switchboard and turn off the transmitting capabilities of different radios. That's a lot of the reason why we quit using the CB radios. It would turn into a long, drug-out conversation, you know. But that ain't right. So we've got this strip done, and we are down to two more strips. I wasn't quite sure we would have this chopping done tonight. We ended up covering the two bunks that are together that we put conventional silage in. Now, we didn't get them full until about noon on Saturday. We left Sid packing for a few hours, and he helped me on the chopper for a while. We worked late on the chopper. We worked on Mike's breakdown. We looked at the hay, and we said, this hay needs chopped right now. So instead of covering the bunk yesterday morning, we went right to chopping and kind of caught up to the mowers, and then that gave us the opportunity or the time to cover bunk this morning. We got done about, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 12:30, I guess it was. And we got that job done, and now we'll be able to cover up this hay bunk here tomorrow. We're putting this hay in my uncle's bunk. I kind of talked about that earlier on in the video here. We probably didn't need to chop this hay, but the weather was given to us, so we figured we would go ahead and take advantage of the weather, clean up the hay that was out there. It didn't cost us nothing. So, get the Motorola's with my own frequency. Now, I have a question. The Michael might be listening here. The guy that does the spraying for us, we buy a lot of seed from, but they were going to put, and they've got them ordered, they haven't got them yet. They were going to put a base station in, and they were going to get their own radios, and they were going to have their own FCC, whatever. They were told by a communications company that you cannot conduct business with a like a Midland or a Motorola over-the-shelf radio. You can't. And now I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means you cannot, like, have a radio broadcast where you're selling commercials or whatever over a Midland two-way radio, or you can't run like a tow truck business or a farm or a custom harvesting business or whatever. Which I know the custom guys they use them all the time. Now it's kind of a gray area if that is the case, because how can you say that we're not a business? So, but I don't know what they mean by that, but it could be the communications company just trying to be able to sell their product and services and whatever, which that there might be more to that than anything else. So I don't know if there is anything to that. Yeah, they took Charlotte in, and yeah, now they're driving. I thought she would be with us today, but she went to basketball tonight. We better not take Alex any. Yeah, we'll take Alex up to this little hill here. She can back out and get on out of here. She's got 7/8 of a load on. So she's going to back up. She'll back around behind me and she'll leave. And then she probably won't have to come back. I've got just one more strip down below. Like I said earlier, we've only got 5 trucks hauling. Yeah, Adam, I found something he's actually good at. He can hold the camera. Brian and Hardtongue. Yeah, that's right. They do have the radios. Let's see. Jay Whitley has Midlands, 6 of them. Out of 6 of them, 3 of them were bad. Doesn't that go with about anything now? Just we've got to actually do something this winter, because it's just a pain in the butt. If you can get on the radio and get 20 to 25 mile. Oh, you hear the stones go through? That's not good. I gobbled one there. That is the stone detector. So we better get out and search for that, because I didn't feel it. I didn't see it come out. It's probably sitting right on top of the head. No stone found. I did find a bunch of pieces. So it gobbled that one up. It's just what I like. After putting new knives in, here's Saturday night. Yeah. But we're going to get that roller this spring. We're going to just, more stones. This spring coming up, we'll go through and roll these fields, all the new seeding ones, right when the ground is kind of soft, but before the hay gets growing, and try to pound all them softball-sized stones back into the ground. It costs a lot of money to freaking goof around with blower paddles and knives. Now, if you guys watched the last video I did, but put new knives in this the other night, cost over $1,900 for a set of knives with bolts. Not to mention the time to put it in. So I don't know what a Duraliner shear bar costs anymore, but that's what I've got in here now. And that Duraliner shear bar a year ago was $3,000. So if you have to replace one of those with a set of knives, that job's over $5,000 to put knives in one of these. Fun stuff. No, we're not getting rid of the 8700. Did I have a little play on words here with this title? Because somebody else mentioned that too. It's the last live stream from the chopper this year, because this is the last bit of chopping that we're going to do. So with a little bit of luck, hopefully I'm able to do a live stream from the combine at some point. But I have excellent internet connection here. I've got all of the little bars that show up, and I figured I would go ahead and do a live stream here tonight. Plus, I had time to set one up. So we're going to have Sarah back up. She hasn't got enough on. I don't want to go all the way to the end of this windrow. Turn around, come back down through, have her 3/4 loaded to get this windrow that's on this. Well, actually it ain't. It's not really on that much of a side hill in this field, but we'll have her just back the length of the field here. There isn't another truck here anyways. And then we'll take her up to the other end, turn around, come back through, get her turned around by the time we got to the spot where Alex was, and then she should maybe have a load on. What kind of truck did you buy? I can't reveal that now, can I? I've gotta start leaving some suspense there, so I get some views out of these videos. I ended up buying a Western Star, so we'll reveal that here. It's far enough into the live stream where there's only 526 people that will get that information, and anybody else that gets that information will have to, of course, they'll have to watch all the way through the rebroadcast of the live stream. But it's a 2011. Is it 2011 or 2010? Can't remember now. I'd have to look that up. But the Western Star 4900. Yeah, I think it's a 4900. I bought it I feel like I bought it so long ago that I don't really know what I bought. But it was one of them internet auction things, so it is what it is. It's only got like 190 some thousand miles on it. Got like, I don't know, 8,000 or 9,000 hours maybe. Should be a good truck, so we'll just have to see how it goes. We're going to gobble up some more rocks here, so we'll keep it a secret. There you go, Mark. Keep it a secret. Don't tell nobody now. I probably could get more views on YouTube if I did things in a little bit more of a secret, like all the other guys on YouTube do, you know. Maybe I could talk about a piece of equipment that we're demoing that I can't reveal what it is. Oh boy. Do I have any plans for 100,000 party? Now that spit that rock out. I better go find that one because damn earbud went dead. I better go find that one because I don't need to destroy anything here. Lift up the crop screen. Yep, that one was setting right on the head, just inside or just in front of the feed rolls. Usually the chopper will, the rock will hit the sensor, which all it is it's more or less like a knock sensor is what it's triggering. And usually you only get that warning once per stone. If you reverse it and run it again, it will run it through. And what it does, it just demolishes it. The rock will break up. You know, you can hit a stone pretty good with a hammer and it'll disintegrate. But the knives do get beat up quite a bit from that. And a stone that's any larger than that really won't go through the knives, and it'll get hung up and grind and make noise, and that'll usually allow you to get the chopper stopped. But yeah, get the Packer 13. No. Paycar 13 liter. No, it's a Western Star. It's got a DD15 with a 18-speed transmission. I don't remember if it was 410 gears or 430 gears in it. So I got a stone there, but I couldn't stop because Sarah was turning. And on the turn, that one kicked out. I see that one on the ground. So, if you're turning and stop, the truck will scrub the chopper. So you got to be really careful when you're making any kind of a turn. So Sarah's about, she ain't quite 3/4 loaded. We'll take her down to the bottom of the field here. Chop on her on the way back up through and she'll be loaded. So what color is it? Well, it is like a midnight blue. So I haven't decided whether or not it's going to get the black and red color scheme. But it's blue in color, so not exactly my colors, but I had another truck picked out. It was down in Georgia or whatever, and it was like $40-some thousand more than what it cost when it went through an auction back in March. So I figured that wasn't really worth it if somebody was making that much money on it. I found another truck that was decently priced, in decent shape, spec'd out right, and everything else. It looked good. It was good to go. I did some research on that one and found out that truck had like 48,000 engine hours on it. It had the miles that were posted on it were low, but they said not actual mileage. So I called the salesman. I called on it, talked to the salesman, and I said, if you were to guess how many miles it had on it, how many miles would you say it had on there? He says, I have no idea. I said, well, how many engine hours it got? I don't really care how many hours or how many miles it's got on it. How many engine hours it got? He didn't know that either. Well, he was full of crap. I found out how many. It had like, it had 1.4 million miles on it and like 42,000 hours. And I called him back up and I gave him that information, and I said, you might want to check with whoever you're buying trucks from, because that's got too many miles and too many hours on it. I think you were took. But they knew exactly how many hours were on it. So you gotta watch what's out there. Most outfits are pretty honest, and they'll have things priced for what they're worth. But then there's other outfits that have things priced way too high. So we can actually put a little bit more on Sarah. We've got a little bit of a windrow chunk here. We've lifted up over this stone that I picked up. Didn't pick it up. Come down here and get a little bit. So we've got one more field left, and that is going to do it for fourth cutting. Always want to look to see where that pipe is when you're changing fields. You don't want to put it in a tree. You don't want it in a set of power lines. You just don't want to injure that pipe. So, rattle can it. Your new truck stuck in customs. Yep, it's stuck in customs. It's actually released. I got the title the other day. Did I get the title last week? No, I got the title the week before last. And then I asked them, when can it be released? And they said, well, it's been released. Customs has released it. But I had paid the broker, whoever it is, to deliver it. But any more time goes by, I could go pick the damn thing up myself. I'd be interested in going on a little road trip right about now. But I didn't. I assumed I was going to get it the 1st of October. But that didn't happen. So I was starting to get a little worried. Wired the money to them. That turned into a problem. My wife took care of that. I put insurance on it immediately, figuring if there's any funky business going on, they're telling me, oh, it's going to take 30 days. And, I'm like, if there's any fraud involved and you're not going to see the truck for 30 days, that's a long time before you're able to get the law involved in something if there was any kind of fraud involved. So I was starting to get a little skeptical there. And but as I talked to the outfit more and more, they assured me that it's standard operating procedure. And once the title was sent to me, I figured it's somewhat legit, but I won't actually know it's legit until I receive the truck. We had a guy working for us. His uncle was interested in this, I don't know what it was, a Harley Davidson motorcycle maybe, or I don't know what kind of motorcycle it was, but he seen it on eBay. Starting to do the eBay stuff, you know, bidding on it. You know, I had 4 or 5 days before the end of the auction, and he was high bidder and this and that and whatever. So it got to within a day or so of the close of the auction, and another stone. And the listing was taken down. I didn't hear that kick out. So that could have been a wad of hay, so we'll give her another chance here. So the auction ended, and he never seen it relisted again. He's like, what the heck is going on? So he was a little upset because it was a motorcycle he was really interested in. So lo and behold, about 2 weeks later, or maybe it was a month or so later, he sees it on Craigslist. I think the motorcycle was down in Florida. So he sees the motorcycle on Craigslist. So, there we go. Another stone. So that one kicked out. So I got to jump out and get that one, and I'll come back with the rest of that story. Give me a second here. Okay. We picked a handful of them that time. So at any rate, he sees the motorcycle showed up on Craigslist. He's like, oh great, I've got another opportunity here. So he goes through the whole transaction, you know, pictures and serial numbers, and you know, that one's kicked out. That's on the ground. We're going to lift up over the top of that again. We're coming over here with the roller. We should actually pick some of these by hand. They're not big stones, so it's not like, yeah. So, he goes through the whole transaction, you know, he did the transfer the money and everything. And he had the motorcycle shipped to him. And UPS drops off a box about this big, and there was a toy motorcycle in the box. And it was legit because the toy motorcycle had a serial number. All of the pictures of the motorcycle were exactly as what the toy was, and it was never it was just the way they took the picture. So you want to be careful with that kind of stuff, I guess. Thought that was kind of interesting. I stepped away to get stoned, for rock's sake. I didn't know better. I know this. What we got here? Another stone. That could have been a wad of hay that triggered that. I've got the stone sensitivity turned up, and a wad of hay can trigger the stone detector. if we get out of here without screwing up the knives completely, it'll be a miracle. But yeah, I hate swapping out a set of knives and coming in a new seating like this, but it is what it is. Yeah, the currency difference, I was able to save a little bit of money. I ordered a hydraulic pump for it here last week. Got a hydraulic tank. I have had a hydraulic valve assembly to run the trailer and the manure tanker with for quite a while now. So we've actually got to change the 500 and the 900 over to a commercial valve. For a short time there, I wasn't able to get those commercial valves. It was right about the time that Parker bought out commercial, and I ended up going with a different style Parker valve, and they ain't worth a crap. I've got them on, I don't know, 4 or 5 of our trucks, and they're junk. So we've got to swap them out. Yeah, you got to watch eBay closely. There's some scams on there for sure. So I ain't another truck here, and I don't really need 2 more. One would probably do this, but 2 more trucks would be handy to get this done. I think Mike is the next truck here, so we'll go right there. We got a side hill, so I don't want to take him over to side hill, so we're going to jump a row here. Do I have to pay the duty tax? Apparently no. There was like a $500 or $800 charge, but I haven't heard of anything. They said everything was okay. How's the audio here? I forgot to turn up the audio. Is this loud enough? If I go here, I can turn this up. There. We'll go up here, drop the head down. Got still a little bit of a side hill, but that's alright. Yeah, the audio should be coming in a little louder now. Early enough for a something or other. It was early enough for a live stream. Yeah, I started this live stream a little earlier than normal. Usually I don't start a live stream till about 6:30. Started this one at about 4:30, I believe. And let's see, we're an hour and 15 minutes into it here. And perfect. We've got Mike pulling in right now. So to give you an idea how long the round trip is here, we started the live stream loading Mike, which was an hour and 14 minutes ago, and he is just pulling in the driveway right now, and his truck, his load should be the last one here. So once we get Lucan's full, we'll have to put out a group text. And, yeah. So, and then we've got to film the last little bit of the chopping video that I need to put out here. I might do that right on the live stream here. So, more stones going through. Okay, I wish I'd have turned that audio up a little earlier. Long haul to the farm. Yeah, it's not as long as our other trips, but It's actually a little quick. He got back here a little quicker than I thought he would, really. But so this truck here is truck 9, and we're going to build a box for this truck this winter. This truck, stone. This truck and the one that Mike have are actually twin trucks. And now the one Mike has a different box on it, but that's a box that we built. It had a box on it just like this one. Now we're going to sell this box here along with the hoist, and the reason why we're going to replace it, we want to put a box on there that has 7-foot sides. This box here is 22 foot long with 6-foot sides and a front pedestal mount hoist. And these trucks are consecutive serial numbers. This one here is 84, 62, 69, and the one that Mike is driving is 84, 62, 70. They originally came out of Ohio. The business that used to own them was based in Ohio, and they put them up for auction. And a dealer down in Virginia or West Virginia, he bought the one that Mike is driving, and we bought that from him, and he knew the auctioneer, and we got the information on that one, and we were able to buy truck 9 like a year later, maybe. Just have to put there. Yeah. Just put that text message out. Put that up here. Okay. So we've only got a little bit left here. So we'll get that in there. So David White says you need a music video. I agree with you, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Here is my drone underneath the seat of the chopper here. I didn't get this drone out once during chopping. It's in this little bag here. I didn't get that drone out one time while we were chopping corn. Come on, engage. I didn't get it out one time while we were chopping corn, and I have not found a song that I can put any video to. Most of the songs are about women or love, and that's kind of goofy if you put that into a farming video, you know. So, but we've got last load here anyway. So I've got more stones. Frustrating. There, kick that one out. Now we got to get out and grab the son of a gun. I won't find it. Bear with me a second here. got a little more than one windrow left here, so frustrating. Grass-related songs. You need to hit another tree to knock the dust off the drone. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's tough to find that song. I mean, I don't know. Kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to try and do what I did with the last music videos to have something come out as good or better. So, got a steep windrow right here. Now, last cutting, I've got my damn beacons on. I never know them are on. You look like a goof driving across the field with your beacons on. The last cutting, more stones. The last cutting, I got metal down on this windrow. We never found it. And we'll probably find it this time. Finding stones, that's for sure. Well, no wire, anyways. Man, Green Day. Seems to me the cutter needs a stone trap. Yeah. The only stone trap on the chopper is the damn feeding them to the knives. So, yeah. There's one drone in space video. Luke Bryan. I can't get into that country music though. I just can't do it. We got some high voltage. The other thing about this farm is we got high voltage power lines. It's like, I don't know, what did I count? Like 13 of them going over this field. Another stone. No, that's metal there. So, spread the pile out. Gauge the cutter head. Probably whatever it is. That could be a stone that's got a little bit of iron in it. They either spit it out, spit the wire out, or a small piece of metal or what have you, right out between that because it never triggered it again. So we've got one windrow left. And for the video that is attached to, or the job here that's attached to this video, I've got to get out my camera and I've got to film the last little bit of hay going through the chopper for the year. So I might as well do that right on the live stream here. So I got a GoPro camera and we're going to go ahead and video this. Alright, so that is it for 2022 fourth cutting hay. And this is the last of the chopping for this year. We're actually doing a live stream at the same time, so there's like 552 people in here watching me video this live. So we've run a fair amount of stones through the chopper. I can't wait to see what the knives look like. But we're going to have to get over here this spring coming up with the roller and pound in these small stones that are in this new seed and on this farm. So that is it for chopping. So we're going to head on home. And we'll join up with you in the morning once we take a look at these knives to see how they got through this last little bit of hay here this fall. So we'll join up with you guys in the morning. Alright, so you guys got to witness some video getting done. That felt kind of goofy. We just got to wait for Mike. We got to make sure he can get up out of the field here. He should be okay. And then we'll head on home. We can take you guys a little ways on this live stream, but I'm going to have to dump the live stream because there's a road that I go down that I don't even have cell coverage on, and I can just imagine what that's going to be like to try to do a video on. So, rocks crawl back out of the fence rows. Alright, so, yeah, we'll keep you going for a little while here. We are an hour and 26 minutes in to the live stream. Mike's only got half a load on or so. We can take you guys off of the, just use a magnetic mount here. I'll let him go first so he's not stuck behind me. It is, for the record, 6:15 at night. So I should be home by about 7 o'clock. I might almost make dinner tonight. So that's the last load for this job. Put you guys up there. I had you guys facing the wrong way, I think. No, I didn't. Yeah. I lose track of what camera I'm viewing here. So he stopped up here. I don't know why. Maybe we're not done. No, he wants me to pick up this little bit of hay here. We'll go ahead and do it. There was a rock in there, but we can skate over the rock. No, that wasn't a rock. There we go. There we go. So, I think I am going to end the live stream here just so that I don't run into a situation like I did last week when I did the live stream, and it had it posted up in the YouTube alerts or whatever it was, and there was like 120 or 30 people in on the dead live stream after the fact. So we're going to end it here, folks. I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. We're an hour and a half into this, and other than the stones getting into the chopper, we had a pretty good time here anyway. So thanks for joining in. We will catch you at the next video or live stream, I guess. So